I'm alive or live. Live or alive. Something like that. Hi. Who is here? Hi, Nicole. How are you? She's way. Good morning. Beth, good morning. Oh, wow. Wow, that is crazy, Beth. So when you say you don't have water, that means there's no running water at all in your neighborhood, in your friends' houses, in anywhere in your city? Because that is just crazy. How can we live without running water? Wow. That is so sad. Sorry about that. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot going on. It is crazy. And then are you expected to have the next hurricane come up your way as well? So crazy. So any questions anyone has? No, that is so, oh my God. I cannot even imagine that. Was there any damage done to your house or to your neighbors' homes? Let me know. So crazy, so sorry. I have a lot of friends in Florida, and I've been keeping in touch with them. Safe currently. Okay. Yeah, my girlfriend lives in North Carolina. Her house wasn't very affected. Her daughter, though, was in the mountains in North Carolina, and I think that was where there was a lot of damage done up in the mountains. So, well, hopefully this next storm won't come. Hopefully you're going to get water soon. Water is such a basic necessity in addition to so many other things. And we realize this in times like this. So I hope that you get that. I hope that everything gets healed and repaired quickly. Oh boy, lots going on. Yes, that's for sure. I was watching some of the weather reports this morning, and it's just tragic. Well, I'm glad that you're here, and hopefully that this will be a nice distraction for you for a little while. I've definitely had some pretty stressful times in my life in the last few months, and my yoga practice or teaching yoga has been so healing for me because the aspect of yoga about being present moment is so critical. And that is just so important for us to stay present moment, especially when there's a lot of stress going on, because we can catastrophize, we can go to the future. When we go to the future, that's anxiety, the fear, the worry, what we create inside of our own mind. I find in my life that often things usually don't turn out as bad as I imagine they would. So staying present moment, staying with breath whenever you can, managing that stress response in your body, because we need to be healthy to be able to take care of ourselves, take care of our family, take care of others. So hopefully today's practice will do that, will bring us to the present moment. And I'm glad you're here, Beth. I hope that this has some healing aspects for you as well. All right. I am going to begin. Before I begin, I want to say to those of you, especially Nicole and Beth, because you were in one of my programs at one point where we had a lot more Q&A and actual live interaction. I've created a community called Stronger Bones Lifestyle. And I created this community because my podcast that I do, Stronger Bones Lifestyle podcast, I have been so fortunate to interview world-class experts in the field of bone health, and it's been amazing. And I have my conversations, and then I end the conversations, and I have all of this wisdom, all of this that I want to share. So Stronger Bones Lifestyle Community will be that place where women can come, share their stories, get answers, and support each other. And so I've been pretty active in the last few days. We're going to get that up and running on the homepage of my website, debbierobinson.com. You could go on there and join the community for free for the first 30 days. No credit card is needed. Come in, look around. I am putting lots of different information. Pretty much, I want to show up there in the way that I live my life. How do I think every single day about healthy aging, about my bones? And because I teach yoga every week, 5 live classes, because I am around hundreds of people teaching and have seen and observed thousands of people over the years, what we're really focusing on with anything that we're doing when we come here, of course, we want to have that present moment. We want the breath work. We want the meditation. We want all that in our present moment, right? So from a present moment perspective, we want right now, give me something. But what we're really doing is we want to ward off future pain and suffering. We want to reduce the potential of a future fracture, because that could be deadly or it could be life-altering. And so what we do here, why we show up, why do we do what we're doing, especially the times when it's a challenge and you're in it longer than maybe you thought you could be or wanted to be. Why do we do this? We do this for a stronger body, for stronger balance, for fracture prevention, and we want strong limber joints because those are going to be pain-free. And as we age, there's a lot of things that happen that can contribute to discomfort in our body. And yoga helps to create space that is pain-free space. So pain-free space in the physical body and pain-free space in the mental, emotional body. And so that is why we are here. That is why we are doing this practice today. And my Stronger Bones Lifestyle community is a way for me to show up often. I do a live Q&A. I've got master classes, guest speakers, and there's a lot that's in there already that are tools and tips. And then I want to share what I know, but I also want you to come in and share your tips. I remember one time, Nicole, when I shared the bread, life-changing bread, and Beth, you were in that group with us, and Nicole really got into it and made these beautiful loaves and shared her beautiful loaves. And then also, Nicole, I remember a beautiful platter that you made. I think you were going to a party and you might have taken a crudité platter, and you made this crudité platter and showed us. It was beautiful. I'm actually going to a party this weekend where I'm going to be taking a crudité platter. That's what I take to most events I go to, raw vegetables and hummus, because it is so healthy for so many facets of our bones, of our gut, and of aspects that are going to help us be the strongest, healthiest, happiest versions of ourselves as we age. So, all right, let me go and do my thing. If you're not watching this live, you can join Stronger Bones Lifestyle whenever you get that opportunity. All right. So today's practice, this practice will be stronger hips. So the focus is going to be right here. Many different postures we will do or movements we'll do will focus on stronger hips or bringing strength to this area or aspects of strengthening our body, which will then translate to stronger hips. And because I want to focus on the hip joint, I want a real nice, deeply set, relaxed hip joint. So I want to begin my practice with legs up the wall. Legs up the wall is called Viparita Karini. And it's an amazing way to allow gravity to sink the leg bones deep into the hip capsule, which will then allow the pelvis to have a freedom so that you start to relax the muscles around the pelvis, muscles of the low back, low spine, and then muscles of the legs. And then we're going to go into the practice and start to create some stimulation here for strength and for flexibility, increased range of motion, and supporting mobility in our hip joint. So we're going to need a block today and a strap today. And I'm actually going to begin with the strap because I want my legs to also stay in this nice aligned position. So I'm going to take the strap and bring the strap into maybe a smaller, maybe not so small. I'll see what happens when I put it on my legs. But I'm going to put that at the side so I can do that once I get up. Now you could put a blanket under your head for this, and many don't need a blanket, so choose whatever feels appropriate for your body. I'd like to guide you into this because this is something that people have a hard time doing, is getting up in the wall. And here's the thing, you shouldn't be touching the wall unless you have the flexibility in your body to touch the wall. So touching the wall is if you have it in your body. If you have tightness in your hamstrings, elevate your pelvis with a bolster or even a block or a blanket to give you a little bit more space. So only you will know what's going on with your body. So I like to begin with my buttocks touching the wall. So I'm at an angle here and this tushy cheek is touching the wall. And then I'm going to come away from the wall, making sure I do not round my spine, always, always. And then I'm going to come down onto the ground and bring my legs up. And then wherever I go, I go. You can push your feet into the wall to move yourself. So my body is not touching the wall. I'm a few inches away, even though I have all the ability to have the full flexion of my hip joint. You don't want your tushy to be lifting off the floor when you do this. And then I'm going to put the strap around my lower legs, the calf area, which is why I was going to make it a little tighter so that my legs don't splay out and I keep that nice alignment position in my body. And then you want to arrange your spine, your rib cage. So I press the arms into the ground, lift the body up, and slide the shoulder blades closer towards each other. And then I'll bring my arms out to the side. When you bring your arms out to the side, you start to feel the stretch in the chest and the shoulders. Now here, make sure if you do have something underneath your head, that it's only underneath the head, not the upper body. So pull it away so you feel that real connection in the middle of the center of the head. Arms could be straight or you could bend your elbows, pushing your legs towards the wall, and then suck the legs into the socket. Really feel them pulling down into your socket. Then relax the legs, let the strap be there to help support your legs here. Lift your head, length of the back of the neck, tucking the chin towards the chest. Take a big exhale here. Inhale. And on your next exhale, slowly let your head roll all the way throughout the whole entire exhale in one direction. And then inhale back up to center. Exhale all the way in the other direction. And inhale back up to center. Exhale into the movement and inhale back up and out. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale and inhale. You exhale into the movement and you inhale up. Go slow, go with breath. And then bring yourself back to center. Let your head relax. Let your arms relax. And then bring your awareness to your legs. See if you could feel the heaviness of the legs in the hip joints. And then bring your awareness to your belly. You want to breathe to your belly. So bring the breath as deep as you can into your body. So let your awareness be in your belly and start to notice the movement of the belly. And then begin to breathe to the left hip joint. So follow the breath in your nostrils, follow it into your body, and follow it down the left side to the left hip. And now switch the breath to the right hip. So follow the breath in the body to the right hip. Really see the breath going to your right hip. Then breathe to the lower tailbone area. So follow the breath in your body, down your spine to your tailbone. Let your breath be slow and long. Be very body aware. Follow the breath in to the tailbone. Finishing up your last couple of breaths. And then give your breath back to your body to breathe itself. Noticing your feet, your legs. So when the legs are elevated, the blood flows down into the torso. You'll feel that in your feet, almost coming towards that numbness, that pins and needles. So start to wiggle your toes, your hands, your fingers, your feet. If you have a strap on your legs, reach up, take that strap out. And then you could do this at the wall, and even if you weren't at the wall, come into a wide straddle. If you're not near the wall and you don't have the wall for support, you could take your hands alongside your body and support the weight of your legs, stretching the adductors. Let's point the feet strongly and flex. Inhale to point, exhale to flex. Inhale to point, exhale to flex. Point and flex. Then you're going to do internal rotation, toes are pointing in, external rotation. This is a hip joint move, toes are out. In and out. Inhale in, exhale out. Move your legs a little closer. Let's do that. Inhale in, try not to bend the knees, exhale out. If you'd like, you could take your hands on your hip joints and feel the movement. When you move your feet, you're moving your hips if your knees are straight, because you're moving the whole entire leg, and that's in your hip joint. So side to side, then come a little closer. Do it when you're a little closer. So moving in different areas of the hips, trying to get lubrication to come into your hip joint. And then go ahead and draw the knees into the chest and rock side to side. Come on to your side. And from here, let your head stay in the same level as your torso when you come up. So Viparita Karini is a really great posture for deeply rooting the hip joint, relaxing the lower spine. It's also great physiologically for lowering blood pressure and for the cardiovascular system to actually bring the blood back up to the heart. So for those of you with cardiovascular health issues, this is also a good position for that. So let's start to do some movement. We're going to work on the hips. So let's come and now really deeply set them with pressure. So we allow the bones to sink into the joints. Now we're actually weight bearing on them. So we have the femur bone here in the hips sinking into the sockets. And you're going to spread your fingers. You're going to move yourself forward and move yourself back. Try not to move the spine. So you're not bending your spine, you're bending your hip joint. Your head is forward. You'll feel this in the glutes. And the glutes are an area of focus when it comes to the hips. We want to strengthen the glutes when we're focusing on stronger hips. So forward and back, keep your head lifted. Head is lifted. And then bring yourself back to center. Push yourself side to side, going into the side of the hip capsule, and really push your hips side to side. So I want you to feel the stretch when you come to the side. So imagine you had a big 30-pound alligator tail. You were sliding across the back floor, side to side. And walk your hands back. Come up here to a kneeling position. Let's do it. So my knees are going to be underneath my body. And I'm going to do a little tuck and release. So posterior and anterior hip. Try to keep your torso stable. It's like you're spilling water out the back edge of the pelvis, out the front edge of the pelvis. Back edge, front edge. Back edge, front edge. And tilt your pelvis forward and backwards. And then we're going to move around in a circular pattern. So coming up a little bit here, you're going to push your body forward, push your body to the side, push your body back to the side, forward, side, back, side. And round out the corners. Turn this into a circle, rolling around in your hips. Hands on the waist. You're on a blanket to help protect your knees. And let's go in the other direction. And then bring yourself up. Coming on all fours, let's do a little with that hip joint. Point your fingers are forward, really spread your hands. Do whatever you need here for your hips and for your wrists. One thing is make sure you're not too jammed up. Your hands are not too close to your knees. You want the distance of the knees and the hands to be the distance from the hips to the shoulders. So try to find that in your body. And then walk your knees so that they are truly underneath your hips. Take your left leg back. Exhale, inhale, and on the next exhale, lift your leg up, inhale to tap it down. Exhale, squeeze the left buttock to lift the leg up, and inhale down. Exhale to lift, inhale. Exhale to lift, inhale. Last one, you're going to exhale to lift, contract the buttocks, stay here. Inhale, exhale, squeeze the buttock, bring the foot in, inhale to lengthen. Exhale to come in, inhale to lengthen. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, one more. Exhale to come in. Stay here, the foot is up towards the sky. Inhale up, exhale down. Actually, let's change that with the exhale. Inhale, and on the exhale, lift, inhale down. Exhale, contract the glute when you exhale. Exhale to lift, inhale down. Exhale, one more. And then bring your leg down. Let's take a break. So you're going to feel a lot of glute work. I want you to contract the glute. The glutes, having your glutes strong is really important for hip health. Also having the leg muscles strong. The glutes are an underutilized muscle. It's the largest muscle in our body. It's one of the most protective muscles for healthy aging, for fall prevention, and for our bones. So we're really isolating the glute. I want you on the exhale to feel like you're making a fist with your glute, contracting that muscle. Sometimes it takes a little while to find it if you're not used to using this muscle. So let's take the right leg back now. You're going to inhale, and on the exhale, squeeze the right tushy to lift the right leg. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Also, the hamstring gets involved, so the posterior chain muscles, hamstrings and glutes. Exhale to lift. One more. Stay here. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze the right buttock to bring the heel closer to the tushy. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, contract. Inhale, lengthen. Go slow. Lengthen. Exhale, contract. Inhale to lengthen. One more. Stay here. Sole of the foot is up towards the sky. Inhale. Exhale, contract the buttock to lift the leg up. Inhale, lower. Exhale. Exhale to lift. One more. And then bring yourself out. So you should feel the heat in the glutes, the heat in the hamstrings, and even some tension on the other side. So the balancing side was compressively pushing the femur bone into the acetabulum, which is the cup that goes into the pelvis. So you get that compressive force for bone stimulation. And then we're strengthening on the other side the glute to help to manage and support the hip joint. And the bigger, stronger, and heavier and more dense your muscles are, the bigger and stronger and better quality your bones will be. Muscles and bones are in a relationship, intricately connected relationship. What happens in one happens in the other. So stronger muscles are going to translate to stronger bones. So a little more with the hips in this way. Take your hands down by the sides, in front of you, forward with your pointer fingers if you can, really spreading the fingers. Exhale, inhale, and on the exhale, contract your glute to lift your leg up and exhale down. Inhale up, exhale up, inhale down. One more. Stay up here, little pulses. Flex your foot, push through the outer knee up towards the sky. Stay here, inhale. Exhale, lengthen, squeeze your buttock. Inhale, you bring your knee, you're at the side here, as if you were on a tabletop with your knee. The inner knee is sliding along a tabletop to come forward and sliding along a tabletop to go back. One more. And then bring yourself back to neutral. Let's go forward, up, out, and around. Knee comes in, go slow, slower is harder. Knee comes in, up, out, and around. One more like this. The other side that you're weight bearing on might be burning, strengthening that side. Now we're going to go the other way. Take your knee back, up, forward, and in. Try to keep your torso pretty still. Let it only be the leg that's moving and everything else is still. One more. And then pause, take a break, moving between effort and ease, sthira and sukha. Close your eyes, catch your breath. Take one more breath. Let's go to the other side. So take your hands, make sure that they are pretty far away from your knees. Pointer fingers are forward. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, lift your knee up and out to the side and inhale back. Exhale to contract your muscles as you lift. Let that help you lift and back down. Exhale to lift. Inhale, lower. Stay here. Inhale. Exhale out like you're on a table, sliding the inner knee forward on the inhale. Exhale, contract. Inhale. Do the work on the exhale. Really push through resistance. Come forward. We forgot to pulse, so let's pulse on this side. Pulse, pulse, pulse. And then bring yourself down. We're going to do the knee rolls. With the knee, which is really getting to the hip joint. Forward, up, back, and down. forward, up, back, and down. Let's go the other direction. Up, out, forward, and in. Catch our breath. Take one more breath. And then open your eyes. Bring your blanket up to the top of the mat. So one of the things we're going to do when we're down on the ground is we're going to try to pull on the pelvis right where the hips are, because part of hip health is having flexibility and range of motion with the muscles around the hip. So if you do slip, trip, or stumble or fall, you don't pull on bones and fracture them. Or there's more ability for your hip joint to move while you're falling without breaking the hip. So right here at the base of our pelvis are our sits bones. When we do the leg stretch to stretch the hamstrings, we're going to be pulling on that bone. So you're going to need your strap for these next few exercises. And I'd like you to come onto your buttocks so you feel the bones that I'm talking about. Go side to side. Feel those bones. We're going to pull on the bones there. So let's come down. Try to come down with core activation. So zipper up your core. Squeeze, activate your core like you're squeezing a big juicy orange. Try to go through the sacrum to the top of the pelvis. Really go slow, using the core to lengthen, to support as you go all the way down. Then take your head on the blanket, bring your knees into your chest, a little warming up. We've done some hamstring work today. Now we're going to pull on and stretch these muscles. The hamstring muscles attach behind your knee and onto your pelvis. So when your knee is straight, you're stretching the whole muscle, and you're stretching especially the tendons where it attaches to the bones, and that's where you pull on the bones to create bone strength. So take your strap. Let's begin with the right foot. So put the strap in the arch of the right foot. And then if you could straighten your left leg and that feels okay for your hips and your pelvis, do that. Now walk your hands all the way up the strap towards your foot. So don't hold the strap down here. It's a lot harder when your elbows are here to hold the weight of your leg. Hold up as high as you can. If your leg is here and that's where it's straight, then keep it there straight. That's fine. I want it to be a straight leg and not a bent knee. So keep it wherever it is. Now don't have it here where your body, your pelvis is tilted back and your low back is pressing into the ground. You want to be in a neutral pelvis. So you want to feel the majority of the pressure in the sacrum, which is the base of the spine. This is important because this is easy for those that are flexible to go like this and to tilt their pelvis back, but all you're doing is bringing your pelvic bone forward. You're not making, the goal is to pull on the pelvis. I want the pelvis pushing down to the ground. So your hands are locked up the strap, hands are almost, the arms are straight, and you're close to your foot as you can get. More limber you are, the closer to your foot you'll get. Now I want you to pull the strap down to really feel that pressure in the right buttock. Feel the pressure in the right buttock and in the tailbone. Now push the right knee away from you and let's enter the posture. Pull the leg back. Push the knee away and pull the leg back. You want to feel as much tension as you can at the back of the upper thigh and hopefully where the muscle is pulling on the pelvis. That's what I want you to feel the most. Pull down, push away, pull back. Look at your foot, make sure the sole of the foot is pointing up towards the sky. Pull the leg back, push it away, pull down, feel all that tension you create at the back of your leg. And take one more breath. And then go ahead and release. Let's switch. Let's take the left leg up into the strap. You either have the right knee bent or you straighten the right leg. What's the best thing for your body? Choose what's the best for your body. Pull the leg down so you feel deeply rooted in your pelvis. Walk your hands up so you're as close to your feet as you could get. Push your left leg away from you, pull down, and then let's enter. Push away. Feel that strong stretch behind the back of the leg. You're pulling down, pushing away. Feel that strength behind your leg. Pull down, push away. Create as much tension. We're here for about 45 minutes. Push the leg away and pull it back and feel the weight in the left buttock. Look at the sole of your foot. Make sure it's pointing up towards the sky. Nice linear. Take one more breath. And then let's release. Take the strap off. Take a break for a second. Just feel your body. Put your feet into the floor. Let your pelvis come up and put your pelvis back down. So I want to show you, I'm going to do this near the wall to give you an idea of something you could do to make sure you stay a little bit more honest in the stretch of your legs. I'm going to do the leg stretch to the side. So you've got to be away from the wall, the whole distance of your body so that the soles of the feet can go up towards the wall. Let's go with the right leg first. You bring the strap in, or the foot in, you put the strap on the leg. Take your hand in the right strap, or the right hand, the strap in the right hand. You walk your hand down the strap. Now, for those of you that are not really limber, you may do better off with a block or a bolster near the side of your body. Keep your leg really high. Lift your leg up and out to the side. Don't let it go forward. Push your foot into the wall if you're at the wall. Push the arch of the part of your foot into the strap. Stretching the adductors, and don't let your pelvis fly off the floor. So activate your core. Try to push your left buttock to the ground. Feel all that work, stabilizing your trunk. Feel that work of stretching your pelvis, pulling on the pelvis with the right inner thigh muscles. Push into the arch, leg towards the wall behind you. Feel that stretch, flex the foot. When I say push into the arch, make sure it's not the pinky toe edge part of your foot that's pushing into the strap. Really try to push your arch into the strap. Take one more breath. Bring yourself back up to center. We're going to switch legs. You're going to bring the left foot in. Take the right leg up to the wall. You want to really press into the wall with the right foot. And then you're going to take the strap in the left hand. Walk your hand down the strap. And then inhale to lengthen your leg high and out to the side. The right hip stays on the ground. The right pelvis stays on the ground. The leg goes to the left. You push into the arch part of the strap. Really make sure that you feel the pressure on the right side. You want to make sure your body's not flying off with the weight of the leg. And if that's the case, you may need to put a block underneath your left leg or a bolster, or depending on if you're really tight, not quite ready for this much range of motion, you could actually have a chair there, or even let your leg rest on a wall. So making the posture work for your body is important. Stabilizing your pelvis, push your right foot straight, right buttock in the ground, and push into the arch of the left foot. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself out. Knees come into your chest. So doing that at the wall can be a really nice way to really make sure that you're stabilizing your pelvis. And when I teach my classes, I notice that sometimes the weight of the leg is too much and the opposite side is flying off. So this gives us an opportunity to activate the core, which is really important for bone health, for hip health, for healthy aging. So let's go into the bridge posture, because that posterior chain is really important to have working for us, for our body, for our bones. So take your strap and get the loop. It's not too wide. You want to make sure that it's not too wide, and bring your feet in and the strap to the upper part of your body. About a fist distance is what you want at the top of your legs. And you want to take the blanket and move the blanket away. Press your arms into the ground so you can lift your rib cage. The head presses in, the arms press in. You lift your rib cage, you slide the shoulder blades towards each other. Lift your head, lengthen your neck. Your feet are pointing forward. Tilt your pelvis back. Let's do a few forward and backward movements with our pelvis to feel what that feels like. Bring yourself to a tilted back pelvis. Inhale. As you exhale, push your feet into the floor. Let's go through 3 movements. We'll hold on the 3rd. So lift up to warm up the spine on the exhale, and on the inhale, place your spine back down on the ground. 1 more to warm up. And then this next one, we're going to come up and stay up. Stay up here. So press your arms in a lot. I want your arms to press in more than your feet, because the arms help to lift the weight of the rib cage. And then you could use the shoulder blades to press forward to really bend the rib cage. We want a back bend in the upper spine and the bridge when it comes to osteoporosis. We want to be pushing into the back of the vertebra. So squeeze the tushy, push your hips up so you unbend the front of the hip joint. Really use your arms here. For those of you that have a stronger practice, you could clasp your hands. If you do, the arms need to be straight. And then you push the shoulder blades to bend your spine even more. Choose the best position for you. Push out on the strap, into the ground, activate the glutes, bend your spine, press the heart to the forehead. Push your feet in, push out on the strap, squeeze your buttocks, push away from the ground with your arms. Take 1 more breath. When you come out slowly, lifting your heels off the floor. Come out slowly and press 1 vertebra at a time. Tilt your pelvis so you put your rib cage on the ground before your low back.
Right when you get to the lower rib cage, stay there. You could reach back and get your blanket if you'd like. In this hovered position, you're stretching the low back, using the glutes to stay up here, and then go ahead and come all the way down. Bring your knees in, take the strap off. Knees into chest. And then come on to your, actually, let's do one more while we're here. This one is actually really good for core, which is really important for strong hips, because everything is connected. Take your block. So we're gonna do a hovering twist. We come into a twisted position and we need to hold there. We're gonna use the block because that's gonna activate the legs, which are also gonna help to stabilize your hips. So you want the block on this distance. Blocks can be long, it could be short, or it could be medium. You want the medium. So the longest part of your block is gonna go in between the foreleg, the lower legs. You're gonna put that in between your shins. And your legs are gonna go to the side. And the hands go to the side to help you. So you're going to tilt your pelvis back so you get that core activation, squeeze the block, flex the feet, exhale, inhale to a place where it feels challenging for you. And once you get there, stop. This is where we're gonna hover and we're gonna hold. We're squeezing the block, we're activating our core. You can tilt your pelvis back, try to push whatever side you're going towards. Try to push the top of the back pelvis towards the ground to get that core activation. If you want a little more, you can unbend your legs, making the weight that your body is managing in this hovering pattern to be even more intense. Squeeze the block. This is going to activate the stabilizers in your body. You could use your hands to help you as well. Close your mouth, deep breaths. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself back to center. Take the block out for a second. Realign your pelvis. So push your feet into the floor, lift up, put your pelvis back down, bring your knees in, block between the legs, flex the feet. Hands to the side, knees away from you, tilt your pelvis back, and then move to the other side. To the place where hovering feels like it's work. So you put the weight over to the side and your body has to manage that weight. Tilting the pelvis back to try to get that side back, top pelvis to press towards the ground. Unbending your legs if that's what you're doing, if that's appropriate for your body. Take one more breath. You bend your knees, bring yourself back to center. Take your block out. Lift your pelvis up, adjust if you need. Draw your knees into your chest. Then rock side to side. Bring yourself onto your side, and from here, up. So take your props off to the side. Always important when you're practicing to clear your space. You don't want anything that gets in the way that will contribute to falling. Bring your blanket onto the mat. Come into a all fours position. Point your fingers forward. Take one foot back, stretch your calf. Take the other foot back. And then from here, let's come into a plank. So plank is a great posture for the front of your hip joint. So make sure your feet are about body distance. So move your feet so that They're about body distance, which is not too many inches apart. If you're struggling with this, take your feet into a wider position. That might make it a little easier for you to manage. Closer together is a little bit more challenging. So choose whatever is appropriate for you. Push through your heels. And then to work on the front of the hip joint, if you'd like to come into a 3-legged plank, you can lift one leg. That leg that you're balancing on now, that front hip, managing your body weight, really push through the heels so you're pushing weight back to the back part of your body. And then switch. Bring both feet down, really push through your heels. Don't let your head hang, keep your head active. One more breath. Bring yourself down for a brief breath break. Close your eyes, catch your breath. And open your eyes. We're going to work our hips on our way up. So come to a wide knee stance. Take your hands wide. Flip your toes under and make sure your feet are wide. I want you to look underneath. Make sure your feet are wide, almost to the edges of the mat. Push your tushy back. Lift your pelvis up. And then walk your hands back. The heels touch. Look at your feet. Toes are forward, not out to the side, and toes are wide. Walk them as wide as your mat. Come up into a downhill skiing position. Take your arms on your thighs. Lift your toes off the floor. If you want a little bit more challenge for your hips, for your glutes, for your lower leg muscles, come up, bringing your hands off of your thighs. Toes are off. You're in your heels. Now push your heels into the floor and feel like you're pulling them apart from each other. You're pushing to the sides. That goes into that side hip area. Hands are forward. Take one more breath and then bring yourself up slowly. So do some standing work for the hips. Take your blanket off to the side. Then grab your block. So I'm near the wall, and if you don't have a wall, maybe you might want to get a chair. So knowing your practice and what you need, get that for yourself. Really important to set ourselves up for safety when we're practicing. Pretty important concept to be safe and strong. So let's pull on our hip with triangle pose. So if you're going to use a block, take the block left side. Let's put the block to the back, so in between your foot and your wall. And then take your legs wide. Know that your wall's back there. The wider, the better. So if you have a chair, maybe you have a chair at the side or you have the wall here. And then whatever foot you're going to go towards, lift it up, keep the legs straight and swivel. So you actually, in your hip, come to external rotation. The back heel goes up and back. Shoulders are forward, up, back, and down. Keep your front hand on your legs straight, the fingertips. As you push the pelvis away, you bend your hip. You keep the space between the lower ribs and the top of the pelvis away from each other as you go down. Only go down as far as you can by keeping the most distance between the lower ribs and the pelvis. If you're able to go low enough to touch the block on the floor, most are not. Most women or most people will end up bending their spine to get down to the ground instead of bending the hip to get down to the ground. Make sure you're bending your hip and not your spine. Bring your awareness to the side that you're moving towards. Are the lower ribs far away from that pelvis? Is that bend truly in the hip joint? Pressing that femur bone deep into that hip capsule, creating bone building stimulation on that side. And then long spine and rotate your spine up towards the sky. Bring your awareness to your feet, pinky toe edges, lift the arches off. Don't let your arches collapse. Active feet. Take one more breath. If you have a block that you're using, bring the block back up with you to come all the way up and out. Keep your legs in this wide position. If you have a chair, you'll need to switch the chair. If you do have your legs in this position, bend at the hip joint, not at the spine to put the block down. You bend at your hip to do things. Toes are forward. Let's get into that hip joint. Front leg, pull the toes up and swivel into external rotation, heel up and down. Take the front fingertips on the leg and push the pelvis away so you start the bend in the hip. Exhale and then inhale to lower down. If you have a chair or wherever you are, you want to maintain the space between the lower ribs and the pelvis by pushing the pelvis away and truly bending the hip joint. Keep checking. Pull the lower ribs away, lengthen your spine, rotate your spine up towards the sky. Arches of the feet are lifted, pinky toe edges are pressing in, toes are grabbing the floor. Take one more breath. Bring yourself all the way up and all the way out. So now we're going to go into a posture where we're going to bend the femur bone, take the legs far away from the body, push gravity onto them, strengthening the legs and strengthening the hips. We're going to do the side angle posture. So bring the block in front of you on the side you're going to move to. Come into the wide stance. Toes are up, leg is straight, swivel, toes away, heel away. Bend the front knee and push the front knee away from you. Take the backhand on the leg, exhale, and then inhale to lower down into that leg. If you need to walk it forward, if you go beyond, if your knee goes beyond your ankle, coming into a warrior two, leaning forward, weight on that front leg. You could stay here, or you could bring your arm onto the inner leg, or if you have a block, coming onto the block. Go as low as you can, active feet. And then you lengthen your spine and you rotate the lower armpit area up towards the sky, adding a little stimulation for the lumbar spine while we're at it. Spinal and hip. Really push that leg away. Feel that adductor, the inner thigh stretching here, pulling on the pelvis, creating more space and range of motion for the hip, compressive force in the front of the hip for bone stimulation, and lots of stimulation to that femur bone and to the muscles that supported the quads, the hamstrings. Long and rotated. Push into the pinky toe edges of your feet. Take one more breath. Bring yourself back to the warrior two and out. Bending at your hips to get your props, moving whatever it is you need to move to set up for the next side. Toes are forward. Keep that front leg straight, toes are away, heel away. Bend the front knee. Hand on the back thigh. Exhale, and then inhale to lower down into the warrior two. From here, lengthening, coming into side angle. You may stay here, or you may go to the hand on the inner leg, or if you have a block, you may go to the block. You may even go a little lower when you have that block. Really lengthen your spine and rotate up towards the sky. And then bring your awareness to your feet, the pinky toe edges. Push the toes in, the pinky toe edges. Lift the arches, long and rotated. Breathe. Take one more breath. Back to warrior two and out. Take that off to the side. So let's do a single leg balance tree, because that's going to create hip bone stimulation to do single leg balance. Your toes are together or slightly apart, hands are down alongside your body. Push your body onto one side, bend the opposite toes, knee out to the side, and bring the foot up in between the ankle and the knee. Your choice if you want to try to be relatively static in your tree, or do you want to challenge yourself? So if you want to challenge yourself, you could do it with movement, which is proprioceptive nervous system. You could do it with the vestibular, which is fluid in the ears and head position, looking up or looking side to side, or the visual, closing one eye and then closing the other. You choose. It's your practice. Take one more breath. Bring your knee forward. Let's go to the other side. So the toes are down, hands are beside you. Go to the other side, bend the knees, and come into the tree on this side. Make sure you're not pushing in the inner knee joint. And then here, choosing whatever it is that is your way to challenge yourself today. Maybe one day you challenge yourself with the muscles and the joints and the bones and the nerves, proprioception, or you do vestibular, which is head position, or you do eyes, which is visual. You decide. Take one more breath. Bring yourself out. Shake your feet, shake your body. So one last position is chair. I'm at the wall, I'm gonna do it at the wall. If you're not at a wall, you come into chair by sitting back. Your tushy is far away from your feet and you look like a lightning bolt. So you could do that out in the open, or if you come into air chair, make sure that the surface you're on with your feet doesn't slip. So a really sticky mat is important here. Your low back can press into the wall and you're really loading up your quads here. You can take your arms out to the side to work on posture while you're doing this. Back of the head touches, shoulder blades touch, low back touches. Close your mouth, breathe deeply. Lift your toes if you can. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself up. So these are important for hips, for strong hips, so working the quads a lot. Shake your body, shake everything. Let's do 3 whooshes. Grab from the air, take an inhale. Grab, hold tight. One more. Hold tight. So let's go down on the ground. Let's let all of that sink in to your body. Shavasana any way you'd like. I'm actually going to do the legs up the wall again to end my practice. So starting with your body when you're in the wall, lifting your legs up and coming into legs up the wall. Gently begin to deepen your breath. And start to bring movement into your body. Come onto your side. Pushing yourself up to a seated position.
Take your hands together, press your hands to your heart, closing the practice. We're going to close the practice with a humming sound. Take an exhale to create space. Inhale deeply. Bringing your hands up to your forehead, we bow in gratitude for this practice, this wisdom, for happy, healthy, strong aging. Namaste. Strong hips, something we all need to work on often. So this practice had a lot of benefits of focusing on what is important to maintain for strong, healthy, happy, fracture-resistant hips. All right. So, Nicole, you remember? Yeah, remember that, Nicole? That was just so, you were just so cute because you honestly, you had so much resistance to going gluten-free. I don't know if you're still here, but you had a lot of resistance to that. And I think you, yeah. And so you were so vocal. It was amazing. I loved it. And I just remember when you made your loaves and you had different seeds on them and you were showing us and it just looked so pretty. So I know you're in that community already, Nicole. I started posting a lot more and uploading a lot more content. I'd love for you to post some things in there, especially about your farm, because it's so exciting. You living on a farm with all those animals. Post some pictures of you with your horses, because I love to see them. Beth, I wish you, your family and friends and everyone around you that this speedy recovery of back to normal, that you get water, electricity, and all the things you need. And I hope everybody remains healthy. Yeah. I'm telling you, I've been through a lot of stress lately in my life, and that's been the biggest help for me is my yoga practice. She's way. Good. Burning. All right. Burning glutes. Gosh, do I love burning glutes. All right. Thanks for joining me. Subscribe, join my Stronger Bones Lifestyle community. Go to debbierobinson.com, sign up, join us, and we're all in this together. Stronger, happier, healthier hips. Bye, everyone.